In the last lecture, we have created scenes. We have two scenes, player scene and a play scene. And under each scene, we have a different nodes, which we can see when we will go to play scene. That's how it looks like. And in the play scene, we have also player scene inside and a player scene, which looks like this. Okay, let's continue and let's see how can we actually run this game, because this is not we are not running the game, we are just creating the game, we are setting up the scene, but this is not how the player will see our game. When the player will open the game, he will see it or she will see it when you will click this button up here, a run project, which is Command B. If you don't need to always all the time click here in this icon to run the project. So we'll press Command B. You see, first it will say, please confirm, no main scene has ever been defined. Select one. So we don't have any main scene. So let's cancel it for now. We have here also this button here. It's a fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one. Okay, and it says run current scene. So whichever scene is currently selected, which is our player, when I will click it, this will execute or it will play the current scene, which is a player scene. So when I click this will run it. And that's how the player will see our game. Just the blank screen, nothing here. Okay, that's very good. Okay, but that's how you can run the scene, and that's how you can test it out, your functionalities. That's how the player will see it, which currently will not see anything here. Okay, so just shut this down. Okay, so if you want to see something on your screen, just go click on the player and right click here and click here at child node. And here just search for camera 2D. Okay, so camera 2D, double click it. Now we have a camera. You can see we can move it around. So for example, like this, you can see this pink border. That's what the camera will capture, this view. Okay, so let's just keep it on the player in the middle like this. And now use the shortcut or click here, Command R to run the current scene. So Command R, run the current scene, and you can see you have a player here. So that's how it looks like. Okay, and now maybe you want to have this window larger. So when I press the Command R and I play the scene, I will play this current scene. Maybe window is too small. Maybe you want to start with this window like this, or maybe full screen or whatever. So this we can change. Let's click X here and go to on the top menu scene, and go to another scene. Go to project settings, like this. Open this, and here we are in an application. So we have here config run, boot splash, and display window here. Under the display we have window. Click on that window, and here we can see the viewport width and viewport height and the mode. So for example, when I change the mode, and I will say it will be maximized like this. Okay, and I will run my game. So Command R. You'll see it's starting maximized now. Okay, so you can see this window is maximized. Maybe that's how you want to start your game. You want to see the entire screen. Okay, or maybe you want to change it a little bit. So go to the project settings again. Maybe you want to start as we had it before, windowed, but you want to change the viewport width and viewport height. So you can play with the settings here, and you can go with 1920 and 1080. Press enter, and let's play the game now. Command R. The window is larger. Okay, I will keep it this way. Okay, so you can play with it. Okay, so that's how you're seeing in our view. But now when you will go to your play scene, for example, double click a play scene, and I'll run the current scene. So Command R. Okay, you see, we still see the scene because we have a camera, even though you don't see the camera here. Okay, I don't have any camera in my play scene, but my player has the camera, so this camera is providing us with the view what we are seeing here. If I wouldn't have a camera on the player, so when I will go to the player, click here, the player, and you can just toggle camera to the, you can see this icon next to it. It says toggle visibility. This eye or whatever it is, you can click it, and now when I will go, for example, to play scene, and I will run it. Okay, I am still able to see it. Okay, so something else. This is not like Unity. This doesn't disable actually, just make it not visible, but the camera is still there actually. So my mistake. What I want to do here is actually remove it. So I'll just click here, Control or Command and Backspace, or just right click here and click here Delete. Okay. And now when I will go to the play scene and I will run the game, Command R, you see. Actually, now we see something from our scene, like this kind of view, which is kind of weird because I don't have any camera here. Do I? No, I don't have any camera here. But we are still capturing the part of this view, which tells me this will be this default view, which is captured here. It's still displayed when we run the scene. That's why we're seeing this part of this corner. So when I will press here Command R, that's what we're seeing here. But if I would create here camera, okay, right click here or right click here play scene, or simply Control A and create here camera like this. It should be overwritten, and when I will press Control B now or Control R or Command R or Control R, that's the view. Okay. So yeah, now you see camera is here. So the scene is displayed this way. We see the camera, the view through the camera, but when I will go to the player back, and I don't have a camera here, of course, I will press the Control R, and yeah, there is nothing to see because we don't have a camera here. Okay. Okay, so that's this. And also, for example, when I'm in my player scene and when I'm testing functionalities and I want to see how my game looks like from our play scene, where I have all the environment, all the NPCs, all of the enemies. So I would like to, even though when I'm making changes here on the player, when I will run the scene, I want to run the play scene. So that was this first command what I was telling you, this command B or Control B. But when you will click it, you see it says that there is no current main scene selected. So we'll click here Select, and we'll just simply select your play scene. It will be our default main scene, and we'll open it. And this will always open by default my play scene when I will press the Control or Command B. So if I will do here some changes, for example, I will create here something new. Right click here, add child node. I don't know, something from node to D. I don't know what I want to create here. Animated sprite to D, for example. Okay, we don't have any animated sprite to D, so that was kinda okay. Not worth it. That doesn't matter. So I will add something. Imagine I added something meaningful here to the player, and I will press Command B now. Okay, I will run my play scene, and my player will have all the changes I already done. The player. If I want to change, I want to test out only solely player. It's player scene. So I'll just press Control R, and this will run my player scene. But I don't have a camera, so I don't see here anything. So you would have to create a camera here first. But I will do it later. So just delete this animated sprite. So we still have a player sprite 2D. Go to the play scene, and here we have these 4 Godots and 1 player Godot. Okay. So that's about it. Running the scenes. Also, I didn't mention it, but on the right side, when you click the node, any node, sprite 2D or player or whatever, you see there is some configuration attached to it. So sprite 2D has a texture, we can set it up. There is an offset. The offset was basically a pivot point. You can zoom it in. Then we have a flip H. So this is flip horizontal. Flip V is a flip vertical. So when I will click it, this should be flipping, but actually you will not see it horizontally because it's symmetrical. From the left and right, the Godot icon is symmetrical, but vertically you will see it. Okay. Then animation. Animations we'll be talking about later. You can just simply set the animations here. So you will set up animation frame. Every frame will be different image, and you will set up how they will be run. Region, enable, disable. It's tackling basically visibility. Transform, there's a positioning in the space. So this position is -200 and -30 pixels on the screen. So if your middle position here, you can still see the middle position here. This is 0, 0 is in middle here. This is 0, 0. And if this is placed at -220 pixels, this means -202 pixels here. Sorry, I cannot draw the straight line. Okay, so this is minus 220 pixels on the screen, the left, and 30 pixels high. Okay, actually, I'll zoom it a little bit better because I don't believe it's very visible. So I'll zoom it even more, like this. Okay, so if your point here, middle is 0, 0, then if you go minus 202 pixels here, I should choose a different color. Okay, so if you go minus 220, and if you will go minus 30 pixels, it will go up minus 30 pixels, you will get middle of your image. Okay, so that's your location, minus 220 pixels and minus 30 pixels on the Y. Okay, so that's the transform position. What else we have here? We have here rotation. We preview it. That's how many degrees you want to rotate. A scale, we talk about it. This is just change the size of the image. So when I will select here 2, image will be larger. Okay. Skew. This is skew. Changing a little bit perspective, skewing this sprite. Okay. And then we have here visibility to make it visible or not visible. So adjust some colors to it. All right. And order Z index. So if we want to be this item in front or behind other items, so for example, this here, I will select the sprite too. Hopefully this one. So you can see it's in the front. So currently the ordering, click on the ordering, Z index is 0 for all of the items. So on the left side in the hierarchy, if the item is after, you can see this sprite 2D here, this big one, is before this one. And that's why it's under it. Because all of these items has a Z index 0. But if I will select this Z index is 1, well actually minus 1 is lower than 0, so it will be behind. Because this upper one has a Z index 0, and this one is a minus 1, so it's a 1 lower. It has lower index, so it will be under this, under the 0, 1. Okay, but if they both have a 0, 0, then it depends on the hierarchy. If the item is after the another one, then the item after is above in display here. So I'm not, hopefully not confusing. So you can see I will change it to 0. It will be above. Yeah, I will change the hierarchy. So notice this. I'll call it the big sprite. Big sprite. I'll move the big sprite under the sprite. Then it's above. So if the Z index is same, then it depends on their order. But I can explicitly change here Z index. For example, minus 10. And it will be under. But keep it 0. Okay, Z as relative. To be honest, I never touched this in my life here. But explanation is kind of straightforward. So you can see it depends also on the Z index of the parent node. So the parent has Z index 2. And if the node Z index is 2 and the parent's Z index is 3, then this node's index will be 5. Because 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, and if you want to disable this sorting, all right, and texture, different filtering options, we'll be touching it later. Materials, you can attach different materials to it, but really this is something we won't be even touching in this course. Mode here, process mode, inherit, this will stay the same. We don't need to be worried about. Okay, so all these things really we don't really be touching here. For us, the most important is what is on the top, which is under node 2D, sprite 2D, and this here. And if something will be necessary, I will be talking about it anyway, so do not worry. Okay, so let's leave it here. Hopefully you are already familiar with it. Again, I'm encouraging you after the lecture, check this out. Also, if you lost the view as me, I don't know where I am currently, I'll select the node, and I'll press the F on my keyboard for focus. It will focus the current selected node. So if you're lost with the camera, just press F and this will select the currently selected node. Okay, that's gonna be it from this video. Again, get familiar with the environment, remove nodes, create nodes. Any questions, just ask me. Be very comfortable switching between the scenes and playing the scene with these play buttons, either to play the default scene or the current scene. Okay, so get familiar with everything, and any questions, let me know. We'll continue next one.